Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Travel 10. And as you see, I've got Joey sitting here on my left, and he's going to give you some news and updates. Tonight, I'm going to be doing the section on training and the creating wealth. I also get to do the drawing, which we'll be doing. So let's begin. We've got plenty to share with you, and I'm excited to get started. So Joey, take it away. News and updates. What do we got?
Jump right in here.
Okay.
So for news and updates, let's get to the most important one first, which is the commissions, right? So
commissions are important.
Very
really?
important.
People
Very
like
important.
commissions.
I think everybody wants to know first and foremost where their commissions are.
Right.
So this is our second pay run. Obviously, we did the last one on the 5th of last month. We got to the 1st of the 5th of this month to pay out September as well. We reviewed them the past few days. They look good. We're not double paying them this time.
Yeah. I think everybody knows that we actually double paid our first run, but in kind of a show of, I guess, goodwill, we said keep it. Now, we're never going to do that again, mind you, but we did it this one time. And but actually this time we double checked it to make sure everything was proper, and it is, and everything was paying properly.
That's right.
So one thing for everybody to remember, if your actual check this month is a little above half of what it was last month, it means you were growing.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So in other words, let's say, for example, you had a $200 check last month because we overpaid it by 100%, right? So you had a $200 check last month, and this month, let's say your check's between $120 and $150. You actually went up because that means your organization is growing. So that's a good thing. So again, guys, it's all good moving forward. So
yep. So we're good.
And we're paying on the 5th too, on time.
We're going to be paying on time. We'll be paying a lot quicker moving forward, but we wanted to make sure everything was perfect, and we took our time and reviewed it a couple extra days this month, which is a good segue. So tomorrow morning, you'll see it in there. We're going to run them and post them in the back office. And this is a great segue for Hyperwallet, which is up and running. We are live and operational with Hyperwallet. So if you haven't received an email yet, most likely you're not going to get one until we pay it out tomorrow. So you'll receive an email that says, you have money available in your bank account. Here's how you need to retrieve it. And basically at that time, that's when you're going to go in, you're going to activate your account. You're already in the system. If you've already signed up, if you pre-regged, 2 months ago, you're already in the system. You just need to go in and answer a few more personal questions and set up your bank accounts and things like that so you can transfer monies back and forth and also request your card. It's very, very simple. As soon as we pay out the field tomorrow, you're going to get an email. You're going to click on the link in that email. It'll prompt you through the steps. You'll put in your social security number, all your important information that you need to track all your income. You're going to request your card. All that stuff's going to be done in there. We actually paid out today. Everybody that we didn't pay last month, because we sent out checks last month, and we only sent out checks that were over $12. Anybody that was under $12, we paid you all today. Yeah, that's going to be one of the great things about Hyperwallet. No matter what somebody earns when they first start the business, no matter how small the check, the beautiful thing there, they're going to get paid. That's right. And of course, the nice thing is when we hit the button, 2 seconds later, it's in your bank account. That's right. If it's a 50-cent commission, you're going to get it paid, and you're going to get it paid instantly. But I think I'd like to be a $500 commission, that's right. $5,000, and then eventually one day $50,000 commission. That's right. That's what we got to be working towards here. And you're not going to have to wait 2 days for an ACH to clear or a week for a check to get to you. This is instant. It's fast. For us, it's amazing too, because we actually get to go in. You're going to be able to use those funds, load them on your card. Your card's going to actually be a Travel 10 branded card. It's beautiful. It's too. Really You'll nice. See a picture of it, right? As soon as you get in and you log into your account for the first time and you finish your setup process, you're going to see a little sneak peek of that card that you're getting. And all you got to do is just request the card. You've already paid for it at sign up. So you just go in and hit request. Make sure your address is correct and your name is correct on the card, because you don't want to have to order another one. It's going to cost you like $6, $7, something like that to get a new one. So make sure all your information is correct, and then once you see it in there, you're going to be really impressed. It's really, really sharp. Yeah, it'd be a little marketing tool too, because there's a Travel 10 all over it. It is unique. It is unique. But yeah, we'll have those commissions in production tomorrow. Everybody will get paid. Hyperwallet will be up and running. If you have any questions, you can contact support about Hyperwallet as well. We do have an update on our starter kits. We're going to have those available for you probably early next week. Might have them available over the weekend to order. But we won't actually start shipping them until early next week, and those have really come full circle. They're looking pretty sharp. Yeah. Well, obviously you get a lot of these. This is what's going to be nice. These things are beautiful. I'm going to be talking about how to use these in just a few minutes. Yeah, if you can't tell by the camera, these things are These are thick. These aren't your normal business cards. These are really, really high.
I like that gold finish on the sides
very,
all the way
very
around.
sharp.
Of course, the the foil's done and all raised. I mean, these things are beautiful. I've had the pleasure of already starting to hand these things out. It's amazing the impact that you get when you hand these cards. Some people look at it and say, yeah, here, this is a gift for you. And they go, what? And it says, unlock the gift, and it's gorgeous. And they go, people are like, wow, thank you. So now, obviously, this is a pretty impressive card, too. I mean, if you just have this thing made up yourself, but you can like a business card, it's not going to have quite that impact, other than obviously the message is there. But the impact of the card is pretty wild.
It's really, really nice.
Yeah,
this is something
nice.
You don't drop this on the ground. This is a nice one.
This is when you got somebody you really want to make an impact on. And you want to make sure that they're going to go take a look at the gift.
And just so you guys know too, we're not making this as a profit center. We're keeping the cost as low as possible on these. We're actually pretty much giving it to you.
We are actually when you look at it. I mean, so because if you went out and tried to get these cards and we were pricing them, and you can do it yourself and just walk this card into any print shop and say, how much would it cost me to have 250 of these made up? My guess is it'll be over $1 a card. $1 a card. Yeah. So you'll be able to get them for what? How much is it? It works out to about 40 cents, I think.
Yeah, it's around 35, 40 cents a card. Yeah, they're expensive. They're thicker than a credit card. So they're really, really nice. But yeah, that kit's going to have everything you need in there to kind of welcome you to the business and get you started. It's not mandatory, so you don't have to purchase it, but it will be available in that back office for purchase once you do enroll. I
think you're going to like the little kit, though, because these cards are, 10 cards, and I think you've got yourself 10 new TLAs.
Yep. You're going to want to make sure you give these to really good prospects.
Yeah, right. That's for sure.
Also, since we're talking about cards and cool little things like that, I had some meetings this week, and we're actually getting ready to set up our brand new Travel 10, basically like a media store. So in that store, what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to purchase banners, branded hats, T-shirts, table throws. If you're doing an event or a trade show, you're going to have that Travel 10 branded cloth to throw over the table, or the banners to put up. It's really, really nice. Hats, and shirts, and everything. I like to say with unlock the gift on. Matter of fact, I was talking to somebody the other day. They actually took the card because they got one of these, and they actually were using it like a pin. They just actually pin it. And they said it's amazing. And people say, "What is that? What is that? What is that?" Yeah. They go, "Oh, just unlock the gift." And of course, they see it and they say, "Here you go. Here's your gift." Yeah, so. And they'll even have business cards to order in there as well. So if you're trying to go purchase on Vistaprint or something like that, you're going to be able to get them at a better deal through our shop, and they're going to have our brand on there. Everything's going to be corporate approved already. You don't have to upload images. They're just going to go in there, put your information in, and boom, they'll be shipped out to you pretty quick. So yeah, we're really looking forward to that, and the tagline is going to be "Unlock the Gift."
That's right, unlock the gift.
But yeah, that should be coming soon. I'm looking to maybe have a few items in the store and our URL set up. Probably next week sometime, probably towards the end of the week, we should be up and running with that. So really looking
we want to have it out there as soon as we can. We got everything in place, so we're getting it there as quickly as we can.
Yep, they're great marketing pieces you're going to find available for you. So just keep checking back. And of course, as soon as it's available, we'll shoot an email out to the field, let everybody know it's all these items are available for purchase now. But that's all I got for the weekend up.
Hey, that's pretty good. I like it.
Not too bad, right?
Not too bad. So you're going to leave it with me now?
I'll leave it all in you, man. You're in good hands as always. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Joey. All right. What we're going to be doing for the rest of the evening here is obviously I'm going to do a little training. I'm going to do my segment on creating wealth. And before I do that, I'm going to give a little personal testimonial. And also, I've got a little drawing to do here. So first, I'm going to do a little testimonial. Now, the drawing that we're going to do tonight is strictly for, those people who are out there building this past week, because we actually have the contest for the biggest builder. For some reason, everybody decided not to send testimonials. I don't know why, because we were getting a lot of them. We didn't get them, so we're just going to carry the contest over. I think we got a few. We'll move those into next week's contest. So, guys, it's pretty simple to win the contest for testimonials. It doesn't take a whole lot, but we're going to make sure we start getting those things. And it's amazing how much you can save if you go and use your product. I'm actually going to read this from off my screen over here on the side. I went and stayed with my family over the weekend in Disney, and we were there. I'm just going to I read this. I've got to make sure I get it right. Okay, we stayed at the Hyatt Regency Orlando. We were there for 3 nights. We checked in Wednesday night. And think about this, okay? I saved in those 3 nights, okay? I only paid for the 3 nights. It was like $120, it was $410 with tax and everything, okay? That's all I paid for 3 nights at a 4.5-star hotel in Orlando, Florida. And the savings was $278.86. $278.86. Now think about that. I saved that in just a little 3-night stay. That paid for my cost of my product for more than 2 years, just on a one little stay. That's what when I look at this company and I look at what we've got, I think this is so amazing how much a person can save if they use what we have to offer from a standpoint of hotels and the resorts, or even any of our lifestyle benefits. I mean, you can save so much money, and that's the idea, is for people to really have tremendous success with the product, because it makes it very exciting to go out and share the message. That's why I have so much fun sharing the message, because I use the product, I believe in the product, I know the product works, so it makes it very easy for me to share the message about the gift and what the opportunity is behind it. All right, now before I get into training, as I said, I'm going to do our little drawing. Now this is for those people that were actually out there building this past week, which we had plenty, and I'm going to draw the actual winner here, so bear with me here. And by the way, I feel kind of bad. I'm waiting for that wheel to come in so we can do this with a wheel, which I think will be cool, but right now I still got to do this, so hang on for a second. We got one here. All right, here we go. All right, so this week, the winner of the $100 business building contest is Tony Chavez, and he enrolled Caritha, Washington. So Tony, congratulations. We'll be sending out a check to you tomorrow, and thanks for being out there, building a business. And guys, this is what it's all about, just having some fun and doing this every week, week in and week out. I mean, obviously, it's what this one person could mean to you down the future, because I always look at every person that I ever enroll as, what if that person ends up going out there and building an organization of 10,000 or 20,000 people? Well, that could happen pretty easily. And somebody that does that, one person that does that, you know how it works? I mean, it could create a check for you for $10,000 to $20,000 a month or more, based on how many customers everybody has. So again, this is the easiest business in the world. I'm more excited about this than anything I've ever done in my life. I'm more excited about our marketing system, which is what I'm going to be talking about tonight, is how to use this, to get people involved in your business. And the second part I'm going to talk about, which is important because it's now that time, is qualifications, because I've had some people still, well, I don't understand the qualifications. I'm going to cover that in just a minute too. So first, let's talk about this. This is a tremendous marketing tool. I think that if you were actually, once we have the swag up there and I'd say on our online shopping site, and you go in there and you have a t-shirt, a cap, or anything else, and you're wearing that, people are going to see this message, unlock the gift. And they're going to ask you, what is that? Well, how simple it is for anybody to be able to take one of these cards and say, okay, obviously you haven't heard about the gift, so here it is. This is a gift for you. And you give it to somebody. Now, obviously, when they flip it over and look at the back side, it has your site on it. So when they go there to look at it and they make their decision and think about it, when people go to look at your site, they are going to make one of the three decisions. Who in the world is going to go look at this and say, I don't want any of the three? They're going to pick one of the three. And if it's just, again, if they pick just the card, great. They use that card and save $1,000. You just made $500. That's not bad. Secondly, if they decide to just take the product, you love it, because now you got a product subscriber and somebody you're making a monthly residual on every month. Third, they get in the business. Now all of a sudden you got a chance to start generating wealth from their efforts and the people they bring in, the people they bring in through what, 10 generations. So guys, look, this is the simplest business in the world. We've made it so that by just sharing this card with anybody, they're going to go watch the video. When they watch the video, they're going to make a decision. Even that's done for you. And they're going to go through the enrollment process. And within a matter of minutes, that same person can then start talking to other people. And that's what's already starting to happen. I mean, to me, that's just amazing when you've got a business that's that simple and that exciting. And so, guys, take advantage of this. I mean, you'll never find anything easier in your lifetime to build. All you're doing is giving away a gift. And you can do it with so much happiness. And every time I do it now, I have so much fun with this. I got to tell you, the last person I hand the card to, I always think about the last person, and I hand them the gift. They kept looking at this going, real? Is this real? Is this real? I go, yeah, it's again, I promise you. I said, let's just go make the decision that's best for you, but there's a real gift here for you. And they kept saying, thank you so much. I really appreciate this. And you know what? That person got involved. And I love it. I mean, not every person, decides to become a TLA. This person did, but the worst case, they take the car and go, okay, well, I'll use it for traveling. That's wonderful. So guys, you've got a simple tool, a simple mechanism, a business that everybody on the planet can afford, a product that really works, and a compensation plan that really pays. Doesn't get any better than that. So let's talk about the next step tonight is qualifications, because a lot of you have now been in the business, and this is your second pay period, right? If you remember, when you sign up, you have 2 pay periods. Now, it's 2 commission runs where you get your check, whatever it is, okay? After that, you have to be qualified to get, commissions moving forward. But we comp it the first 2 months. So for all of you that got with us when we first started, which is a whole whopping 6 weeks ago, think about that, 6 weeks ago. This thing's not even launched yet. But 6 weeks ago, you had the month of August, and now the September commission's coming out now. So you're going to get paid, right? Now, next month, if you've been in for 2 months and you've seen 2 pay periods go by, you have to qualify. But again, I want to make sure everybody understands how simple that is. All you have to have, okay, to qualify for 8 generations of commissions, 8 generations, okay, is 2 customers. And guess what? One of them can be you. You can be your own customer. So if you're a TLA with a customer, you only have to have 1 customer. If you came in from maybe Good Life where you're not a customer because you've got the product somewhere else, and that's happened with some of you, the only thing you have to have is 2 customers. That's it. And what's a customer? A customer is somebody who subscribes to the product and they're paying $10 a month. That's all you have to qualify for 8 generations commission. You couldn't ask for an easier and simpler qualification system ever. That's it, too. Now, what does it take to get paid on the next 2 generations? And why is that so important to you? Well, when you start getting, 10 people get 10, will get 10, will get 10, you know what happens, or even 5 will get 5, will get 5, or 3 will get 3, will get 3. I mean, you're starting talking about hundreds of thousands of people in that 9th and 10th generation that you're making money on. Obviously, you want to qualify for that. But it's so difficult because now, remember, to get your first 8 generations, it will require what? 2 customers. You as a customer and 1 other customer by itself. Now, that customer has to be just a customer, a subscriber. Can't be a TLA. That doesn't count. Your other TLAs you sign up don't count because they're a TLA customer, and that counts towards themselves to qualify. So you, as a customer and 1 customer, you qualify for 8 generations. To get the final 2 generations, you need 2 more customers. That's it. So the moment you have 2 more customers, a total of 4, which is you and 3 others, or if you're not a customer yourself, 4 customers, then you get the 9th and 10th generation. That's it. That's all there is to qualify. It can't get any easier than that. Now, to get into all the bonus awards, like, the different diamond awards, yes, that requires a team and volume, and those things come later. As you start building the business, and you'll go take a look at it. When you start getting an organization growing, you're going to want to start looking at that very closely because there's some big money to be made when you start getting into the diamond awards. But that's down the road. Right now, this is all you need to worry about. Okay, so that's the training for tonight. I got 2 announcements, very important announcements I got to make before I do this last part on Creating Wealth. The 2 announcements. This is a great announcement. This is so important. Next week, for the first time, you're going to meet on this call, on this webinar, the new president of Travel 10. I'm staying on as the CEO founder. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be just as active as I've always been. This is the most exciting thing I've ever done in my life. I'm just loving it. The first time I'm doing something I just get so excited about that I wish I could spend all my time, really, this is how much fun I'm having, just recruiting, talking to people about this business. It's just so easy and so fun, but obviously I still have other responsibilities too. But I love it because it's so easy. But we're going to be announcing our new president. And I'm going to tell you who it is. A lot of you are going to know this gentleman. It's somebody that I've known for about 8 years. He's been with me in all the companies I've been involved with for the last 8 years. A tremendous builder. As a matter of fact, he's the #1 builder in Travel 10 by far. He's the only person that's put in more than 100 people during the first 6 weeks, personal enrollments, which to me is staggering. And he's done it pretty easily. And he just says this is the simplest thing he's ever done. As a matter of fact, when I went to this person and started talking to him about, I've got an offer for you, and he had no idea this was coming. I said, what do you think's going to happen? And I'm going to tell you what it is in just a second, just building a little suspense here. I said, what do you think's going to happen with Travel 10? And he said, Mark, I got to tell you. He said, I know we've been excited about things in the past and we've gotten some great success, but not the success that we wanted. He said, for the first time, I actually believe Travel 10 is going to be $1 billion company. This is the easiest thing I've ever seen. It's something that everybody can do, something everybody can afford. The product is real. And he said, the only thing I want to do, I just want to bring more excitement. I want to bring more marketing tools. I want to bring more ways for people to build and have more contests and do all these types of things that just make it more exciting for everybody. And I went, boy, that's what I wanted to hear. I said, because you know what? I said, I want you as the president of this company, and I want you delivering that message. And he just accepted. And the person's name, and I'm honored to have him on board, is Kenneth Reed. Now, Kenneth lives in Atlanta. A lot of you know him. A lot of you probably go, oh my gosh. But Kenneth is going to be an amazing asset to all of you. He's so excited. He wants to be involved in everybody and helping everybody grow this business. And I tell you, I love his passion. I love his energy. I love his commitment, and you will too. So next week, I will have Kenneth sitting here with me. Well, he won't be sitting with me. He actually lives in Atlanta, but we'll have him remotely. And he's going to start talking about some of the things he wants to bring to Travel 10 and some of the excitement and ideas that he has. And I love what you're going to hear. So that's the one big announcement. Secondly, because of this, we're actually going to have our first, what I call first Travel 10 gift party. And I think that's probably the terminology we use. We'll call it a Travel 10 gift party. And this is something everybody should start having in their own homes too. If you want to really grow your business, is start having these. But we're going to do the first one in Atlanta. We're going to do it on the 27th, which is a Saturday, October the 27th, in Atlanta, Georgia. We'll actually next week tell you where it's going to be. We're looking at a couple locations, but we're definitely going to be there for sure. It's going to be a super Saturday from 10 to 2. It's going to be, a complete presentation, so you can bring guests and people you want. But at the same time, more importantly, it's going to be training and going through anything and everything that we have with Travel 10 on how to be successful. So you want to be there. Obviously, Kenneth will be there. I will be there. There'll be some other people there as well that'll be involved in this program. So look forward to seeing everybody on the 27th of Atlanta in Atlanta from 10 to 2 on that Saturday. So we'll give you the dates, the location here shortly. All right. So my last segment. Because I really believe this is important. Again, you can get the excitement and the news and the updates and the training, and you can do all that stuff. But I really think it really gets down to, yourself and deciding if you're going to be successful with this business or anything in life. And I just happen to believe that this is an amazing vehicle that can take you anywhere you want to go, but it won't take you anywhere unless you believe it's going to happen. And so tonight, what I want to do in this Creating Wealth segment is I want to talk about believing. And I'm going to do that with kind of giving you a little bit of my story that I probably have never shared with I don't think anybody, and maybe some of this, and some of it maybe I have. But when I was in high school, I came from a family that, I didn't have a lot of money. As a matter of fact, I grew up in Florida. I always make the joke that when you grow up in Florida, it's very, very hot, and you don't have air conditioning in your home, it's very uncomfortable at night, and my brother and I used to have one fan that we would fight over all night long. He'd fall asleep and I'd take it and put it on me, and then I'd fall asleep and then, all of a sudden I'd be laying there and I'm in bed and I'm swaying, I'm hot and go, why is this so hot? And look, he'd gotten up in the middle of the night and moved it back on him. And so we'd play that game all night because it was hot in Florida. But it made me think about, I came from a family that didn't have a lot. We had a lot of love in the family, but we didn't have a lot of material things. And so we were poor. And I kind of grew up, in that environment. And I didn't like it. I didn't want to live my life that way. And like anybody else, well, how do you change that? How do you get in a different position where you can have the things you want in life or have the things you see other people have? And I was very lucky. I had an uncle that mentored me. And I was just finishing up college, and I worked my way through college. I don't like anybody else. I had to work. I was actually at that time, I was married. I had a child. I had to work every day and then go to do my classes throughout the day and through the evening stuff. And I worked my way through. I paid my own way all the way through. I had a beat up old car that to this day, I still survived. I don't know how I even survived because it was a danger to be on the highway. It was so bad, but I survived. But when I got through college and it was finishing up, I realized that in college, no one had taught me how to think differently. They was basically putting me into a box, and I was going to go out into the world and I was going to get a job. And I was going to take this job and I was going to get a salary, and this is what I was going to make, and this is going to be my life. And I went, wow, I don't know if I really like that. You know, I want more, but I really didn't know what to do. Well, I had an uncle who was very wealthy at the time, and I loved him dearly. And he just handed me a book. He said, Mark, you can have anything in your life if you want it and believe it. Now, that was the key. He said, you have to believe it. And he gave me the book that everybody's probably heard of, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Well, for me, that was life-changing. I took that book and I started reading it. And one of the things that happened for me is I started actually believing everything I was reading. That, wow, you really can have anything you want in life. You just got to ask for it. You got to be willing to go do the work. You got to have the desire. You got to have the dedication. You got to have the commitment. You got to have the belief. You know, and how do you create all those things to make it happen? Because I didn't have it in my life. I didn't even know what those things meant. But I found the starting point in that book, and I started taking everything that I learned from that book and applying it in what I was doing in life. Now think about this. I am dead broke. It's 1972. Just got out of college. I had nothing. I didn't even have a decent car to drive. No money. Okay, I read this book. Fast forward, 3 years later. This is an amazing story. 3 years later, fast forward, I'm walking into a car dealership. Still a young kid. You know, I'm 25 years old. Walk into a car dealership, and I walk in there, and this dealership, I still remember the name of the company. It was called Cog & Pontiac in Jacksonville, Florida. And I walked into the showroom floor, and they had a brand new Rolls Royce sitting there, brand new. I had never seen a Rolls Royce before. I mean, I knew what it was. I'd heard the name Rolls Royce. That was the ultimate vehicle and stuff, but I'd never seen one. And they actually, in the showroom floor, they had it, you know, with the little post around with the little red thing, you know, the little velvet, you know, fence around it so you couldn't touch it. And I'm sitting there looking at it, wow, that is beautiful. That's really beautiful. I said, you know, I got to look inside this thing. So I moved the little gate thing, you know, and so I opened the door and got in. The moment I opened the door to get in, a salesman came running up. He says, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I said, I just want to look at the inside of the car. He said, no, you can't do that. Do not touch the car. Get away from the car. And I said, but I'm interested in maybe buying the car. And he goes, no, you know what? He said, that's a Rolls Royce, son. I remember, I'm 25 years old. I'm in jeans. I realize I don't look like I can afford a Rolls Royce. But guess what? I'd read a book 3 years earlier called Think and Grow Rich, and I changed my life. And guess what happened that day? I looked at him and I said, you know, I really would like to talk to someone about this car. And he just turned and walked off. And there was a young kid standing there, they're salesman. And I looked at him, I said, do you work here? And he goes, yeah. And I said, would you come here for a second? And I said, yeah. And I said, I need you to do me a favor. You see this car right here? I'd like to buy it. And he said, well, he's a young guy. He looked at me and said, well, you understand that's a Rolls Royce. That's a very expensive automobile. I said, yeah. And he says, can you afford to finance that? And I said, no, I want to pay cash. And he looked at me and said, you want to pay cash? And I said, yeah. And as a matter of fact, when I was driving in here to your lot, I noticed you had this motorhome, a GMC motorhome. It was brand new at the time. It was beautiful. That was a long time ago. Remember, 1975. And I said, but I really like that motorhome. And I said, I'd like that motorhome too. And I said, oh, by the way, I noticed you have this big dually, you know, one of these trucks with big dual wheels in the back. It was brand new. They just gotten in. It was outside. And I said, I kind of like that. And I said, can I have that too? And the kid looked at me and goes, let me see, you're telling me you want the Rolls Royce, you want the dually, and you want the motorhome, and you're going to pay cash. And I said, yeah, that's about it. And he said, just a minute. He goes up, and he gets the owner of this place. His name was Luther Coggin. He comes down, he looks at me, he says, young man, he says, he told me that you want to buy this Rolls Royce, you want this dually sitting out there, and you want this motorhome. And I said, yes, sir, I do. And I said, I want to pay cash. I said, there's only one requirement. And he looked at me kind of funny. I said, you see that salesman over there? He wouldn't give me the time of day. He said, somebody needs to talk to him. And I said, he probably shouldn't be working here, but that's your decision. And here's what they did. I bought all three of those vehicles that day. I paid cash for those vehicles that day. I don't know what happened to the salesman. I think they probably let him go. They probably should have. But the point of the story is, 3 years earlier, I couldn't put gas in my own car. And that's how much things change when you believe. And so that's one thing I want for everybody that's in this business is I don't care how old you are, what's your education, what you've been through, what successes or failures you've had. That's okay. But somewhere along the line, you have to start believing again. And if you never believed before, start now. And if you have and maybe quit, start now. Because the moment you start believing that you're entitled to have the best things in life, guess what happens? Life gives you the best things. And it's been like that for me the rest of my life. And so I always tell everybody, look, you don't have to have any special skill sets. You just have to believe. And if you believe, and then you've got an opportunity like you've got here at Travel 10, then, the future is yours. And it'll be anything you want it to be. So with that, I'll say thank you and good night. Look forward to seeing you next week. And obviously, we're going to be bringing in Keenan 3. I can't wait. Good night, everybody.